here is what all the hysteria has been about. I've been away for a few days and it's almost like Armageddon has landed on my Facebook feed, and not just mine, but all of the consultants at Shimano, and this is what everybody's talking about over the last few weeks since we unveiled some teaser images. Now this is the 14,000 XTD Ultegra from Shimano. So I'm going to try and explain it in a carp angler's way of thinking, but I'm also going to explain some of the features on what I think, and not just me, but one of the biggest retailers in the country has said, this is the best carp reel ever made, quote. And we are going to quote that because they're a serious retailer and that's what they have said about this reel. So we're going to start at the front of the reel, on the overall appearance of the reel. Now, instantly you can see it's a matte black finish. It's very minimalistic, it's not bling. We've listened to what some of the feedback has come back on some of the reels over the years. So we've listened and we've taken it on board, and we have produced what we think is the most beautiful carp reel that Shimano ever made. So it's all matte black, even the back, spin it round, the handle is the same matte black as the body. So even little things like the actual reel handle, very minimalistic, nothing fancy, just something that is going to work and do the job. So some of the main features, or the first feature, is an instant drag. So instant drag is one full turn from being completely lock solid. So one full turn and that will take line. So no more of this screwing for hours on certain reels and you've got no control whatsoever. One full turn and it's lock solid. One full turn and it will take line. So whilst we're talking about the spool, look at the line lay. You get the better line lay through slow oscillation, and this XTD comes with super slow oscillation, and what that is, it's 50 coils per oscillation of the actual body of the reel. So in layman's terms, if you're looking for more distance, the more coils of line that go onto that spool in a slower manner means that they're going to come off in a lot easier fashion to give you that extra distance, which is what the oscillation is all about, or the super slow oscillation. So if you want to categorize it, our black mag is 100 coils of line per oscillation. The XTD is 50. So it's going to aid in that line coming off the spool. So whilst we're near the spool, even things like the line guard there is going to stop the line going behind the spool, but even that is it's a new design, and some people are saying, well, it's just an Ultegra that's been sprayed matte black. Nothing could be further from the truth. All these little changes have gone to make this reel what it is. So the line guard is tapered now into the body, so it all flows. You know, it's so sexy. It's almost a crime to actually use these things. You could sit this on a bar and have a drink with it. You know, it would probably attract that much attention. So the line guard is very in keeping with the cosmetics of the reel. So the next thing we're going to look at is parallel body. Now, literally all the reels in the past have a spool that faces ever so slightly upwards towards the butt ring. This parallel body means that the spool is perfectly parallel with the blank of the rod, and what that's going to stop is it's going to stop any line slap when you're going for big casts. And you've all had it where you can hear that line rattling against the butt section of your blank. Now, as the butt rings and the butt eyes are now placed further away from the reel, by having a parallel body is going to aid again in the line coming off that spool, and totally. So we're just going to touch a bit more on this line lay. Now, within the package, within the reel, you get lots of different size washers. Now, I like to have a perfectly flat line lay, whether I'm using fluoro or mono. And what you get with the washers is it's tailor-made, so you can adjust the way that line goes onto the spool to suit your fishing situation. I like it perfectly flat. And to get this sort of finish, to get the perfectly flat line lay, I've just added a thinner and a larger washer before I've started to spool up, and it's given me that perfectly level line lay. Just move down and we'll spin that round. You can see there the little X-ship. Now X-ship is the whole gearing in the bushes system is encased inside the reel, so there's no play or no movement whatsoever. So if you're in contact with a big fish or you're fishing in and around weed, you've got full control. All of the power that you're putting into that reel handle when you're turning is going to be transmitted straight through the reel, straight through the rod, so you're in total control. None of this moving around. Anything inside that is going to move with extra stress is just going to move more and more over time and wear more and more over time. So the X-Ship keeps everything encased and you're in total full control at all times. So we're going to move on to pricing or the package. So you get a spare spool with the XTD. You also get a large and a small line reducer. So for those who've not encountered line reducers before, it saves having to take all of the line off the spool when you want to re-spool. So fluorocarbon, I would use the larger reducer, and mono, I would use the smaller one. And it just saves you money on line and it saves you on time when you come to re-spool. So the whole package, which is probably what everybody wants to hear about, everybody's asking about price. Because you look at this, you look at the features, you look at what you get with the spare spool and reducers, and people are speculating this is going to be a reel that is a lot of money. So the actual selling price is going to be $149.99. Yeah, that's right, $149.99. It's not a mistake, I haven't said it wrong, it's 150 quid for a reel with this spec, with these features, with the spare spool and the line reducers. Now, you can understand why the hysteria has been there, the speculation has been there, and even everybody at Team Tribal wants to get hold of these. Not just because they want them for a second setup, but because, let's be honest, this is the sexiest reel I have ever seen produced from Shimano. So my recommendation would be to pre-order them from your local retailer, because these are going to sell out. There's so much interest that, you know, we're just going to sell out straight away. So if this is what you're in the market for, get down to your local retailer and get them pre-ordered. This is the star of 2016.